Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And I guess we're going to talk about the Acolyte again. Geeky did not watch any of it.
Nope. I just saw that clip of it where they were doing the one, the two, the many, and I was like, this is stupid.
The power of one, the power of two, the power of many.
Yeah, no, thank you. It's just stupid.
Yeah, I love this.
My takeaway from it is the showrunner is a lesbian, and she and her wife wish they could conceive kids. They can't, so we're just going to put it in the Star Wars show.
Yeah.
Where they can.
Where they can, pretty much.
But, I mean, I'm just gonna. That's what they were doing.
Yeah, and as I pointed out, and I actually did a review, kind of, sort of the third episode. It's the only episode I watched. I didn't watch the first two, but you know, this is something that we're seeing a lot of in media. We saw it with Marvel. We saw it with America Chavez. You know, two biological women making a child in a utopian lesbian society, and then we've seen it you know, some other places as well, and it's kind of like, okay, you know, somebody's got a little bit of a fetish or something going on here, Disney. But yeah, so we're going to talk about the ratings, the audience score. Apparently fewer people like the Acolyte than like the Star Wars holiday special.
Well, actually, yeah, the holiday special is doing better, and I guess the worst rated Star Wars anything is only 1 point below what the Acolyte's rated at.
So let's talk about this. Before we get into any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. Guys, you get woohoo if you do.
Woohoo!
Of course, you can't talk about this without people getting you know, angry on one side or the other. And so many people on Twitter like, you just don't like this show because it's got black people and lesbians.
Oh, I'm so tired of that. I'm so tired of that lazy ass bullshit. I'm just tired of it. It's
like, no, it's because the show sucks. The show is not good. And it's okay that's not good, because as far as I'm concerned, you know, nothing outside of George Lucas's Star Wars is real Star Wars. Now, that being said, he was involved in the Caravan of Courage. Yeah, the Ewoks movies.
Yeah, but look, it's 43%.
43%.
And then go back to the Acolyte?
The Acolyte is 17%.
How many reviews does that have? I just wanted to see. There's 10,000 plus audience reviews on that, and the Caravan of Courage also has 10,000 plus audience.
Yeah, that's kind of weird, because I didn't think
only had 13 reviewers on that for critical.
Well, it came out, it was made for TV.
Right, it was years ago.
It was years ago.
It was not good, but Caravan of Courage is rated significantly higher.
Yeah, I mean, the only Star Wars anything I guess is lower is the Ewok cartoon, which I didn't think was that terrible.
But
I was
less
also
than 50 ratings.
I was also very young when that was on, so it might have seemed okay when I was a kid. I like Droids a lot better. Droids was actually pretty fun.
Click on the fewer than 50 ratings for a second. What's the most recent rating on it? Last year.
Last year. So if we go down the list here, this is Rotten Tomatoes. This is their Star Wars saga movies and TV shows. You can kind of see the critical score and the audience score. And you know, Ahsoka and Andor both did pretty good. Ahsoka, I thought, had some dumb moments.
Apparently the audience did too.
Again, this is another one. I only watched clips of it. I didn't watch the whole thing because I'm not interested enough. I didn't watch Andor at all. I didn't watch any of Andor, and people actually said it's the best Star Wars anything they've done since Rogue One. But I just, after Obi-Wan, I couldn't bring myself to watch anymore. Book of Boba Fett 52. Boba Fett was widely panned.
Oh, but look, the critical score is 66, and that's okay. It wasn't, they were just review bombing that show.
No. Rise of Skywalker, 51%, because they were angry that they walked back The Last Jedi.
That's exactly what they were pissed about.
But the audience was happy that they walked back The Last Jedi.
Yeah, I know.
Hey, cool. You know, The Mandalorian, 78 and 90. Star Wars Resistance, this is a show I forgot existed. 47% audience score. Solo had a 63% audience score. I don't think Solo is as bad as people make it out to be. I think it was actually okay. It was weird that everything Han Solo ever talked about in any movie happened in this one movie. I know, right? Like his entire life story happened in this one movie. Last Jedi, which is an incredibly divisive movie, 41%. 87% for Rogue One, 84 for The Force Awakens, 84 for Rebels, 91 for Clone Wars, the series. Only 40% for the movie, though, and I'll tell you why, because there was a pilot for the series, and it was dumb to release it as a movie. 66 for Revenge of the Sith, 56 for Attack of the Clones, 59 for Phantom Menace, and now we get to the original trilogy. 94 for Return of the Jedi, 97 for Empire Strikes Back, and 96 for A New Hope. So yeah, that's pretty damn bad. Pretty damn bad.
Well, this sounds like people like the original trilogy.
Yes.
Shocker.
And to a lot of people, I think this just kind of nails it. Like, Star Wars is the original trilogy. And you don't really, I mean, if you don't like the prequels, then don't watch the prequels. But there's no denying that the original trilogy is Star Wars to 99.999% of people. And all this other stuff is whatever.
It's not about diversity and inclusion. People are like trying to make it out again. You're racist, whatever. And you're mad because there's a Korean guy in it. Actually, he's the only reason I'd watch it. A lot of people said,
good.
A lot of people said the cast, the actors themselves are good. It's just what they have to work with sucks. I'm sorry, if something can suck, and you can say it sucks. This sucks. This sucks so hard.
It was
you could get impregnated from the sucking.
Well, even
if you're women, you're two women.
Yeah, they had their little dance or whatever that they did, and it was kind of like they were having like a moon orgasm.
Gosh,
and
that happened to me once. I was out dancing in the moonlight by myself, and I suddenly got knocked up. It was a whole problem.
Wait a minute.
I hate when that happens.
Wait a minute.
It was a little rapey.
It was aliens. It was aliens. They abducted me.
Anyway.
Yeah, so freaking the holiday special. Now, the holiday special, George Lucas, we did watch the making of. There was that documentary that came out not too long ago, and they talked about the making of it. And basically, George Lucas had very little to do with it, which explains...
He should have had a lot more to do with it.
Yeah, I don't understand what happened with the Wookiees at the end. They just kind of like walk into the sun and disintegrate. I mean, it's like a bunch of lemmings. But yeah, I mean, and people ignored the holiday special. George Lucas decanonized the holiday special, and they've done their best to bury it. And I think that eventually a lot of these Disney Plus shows, I think the same thing will happen. I think they'll just be like, you know what? It's people hate this. We're just going to pretend that some of these shows never happened. I mean, they deleted the entire expanded universe, right? Like decades of I mean, hit or miss quality Star Wars stuff, but the EU was pretty well respected.
I just want to point out that the holiday special was very diverse.
It was.
I'm just pointing that out.
It was.
Continue.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, it was.
It was very diverse.
But yeah, the Battle of Endor and the Caravan of Courage are ranking higher than the Acolyte. The only piece of, according to Mr. Milo on piratesandprincesses.net, the only piece of Star Wars television media lower than the Acolyte is the Ewok series. If the score drops any lower, the Acolyte will hold the record for the lowest rated piece of Star Wars television in history. Only time will tell if the ratings will increase or decrease with each new episode. I don't think so. I think that this one has definitely found itself in the crosshairs. And there are people that even that have defended Disney Star Wars. They're like, the show is stupid. It's stupid. It's nonsensical. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense within the canon of Star Wars.
But you saw the one episode. You said it made no sense.
It made no damn sense. I mean, look, I'm watching it and I'm like, I get what they were going for. It basically was a lot of shades of the Phantom Menace, which you probably don't want to do anyway. But they did. They had the Jedi testing just like they did with Anakin. We have the virgin. Well, I guarantee you those witches were not virgins, but the men not involved conception of the twins. We had, that was from the Phantom Menace.
Wouldn't that make the Force male?
Yeah.
Because the Force is out there knocking up women.
The Force is out there knocking up women. Yeah. Yeah.
That would make the Force male.
Well, then they have the whole thing where they're like redefining the Force. Now, to be fair, that kind of like there being different religions around the Force, that has actually happened before.
Well, that makes sense.
And the witches view the Force differently than the Jedi view the Force, and their idea of it is basically like the Jedi think they own the Force, and then the Jedi are kind of like the church, and they're coming to take their kids away from their lesbian moms.
That's exactly what this is about. Let's be honest here. That's what this is about. This is call it like it is. That's what this
the vibe
is about.
I was getting. Like, oh, we're we're just a bunch of lesbian witches living off on our own, and then the church comes along and they decide they're going to take our kids away from us and train them to be good soldiers. And yeah, so I mean, it's just, I don't know. But the way it was done was just so stupid. I just don't care. I don't consider it canon. I know George Lucas doesn't. Why should I care? If he doesn't care, why should I give a shit?
I still like stuff. I just like what I like.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
I still love my Ewoks. Sorry.
That, you know, I can watch the Ewok
Except
adventure.
for the cartoon. I agree. The cartoon
it wasn't great.
Neither was the Caravan of Courage.
It wasn't great.
I'm not going to lie and say it was, but I still liked my Ewoks.
I remember watching Caravan of Courage when it first came on TV. I was pretty young, but
I remember too. I was little though.
But I remember watching it and being like, "Oh my God, they've got Star Wars on television. This never happened. Star Wars is special. You have to go to the movie theater to get Star Wars, but it's on TV. Oh my God, I can't," because I was too young for the holiday special, right? I didn't
watch it.
And they never ran it again, so it was like a one and done. But I'm like, oh my God, we've got Star Wars. We've got Star Wars at home, everybody. This is the best thing ever. Now Disney's like, yeah, well, we're going to give you all kinds of Star Wars at home. I'm like, yeah, and it's just about as good. Yes. It's just about as good as all the other Star Wars at home.
As bad as the Ewoks cartoon. Anyway,
there we go, guys. Whatever. Is Disney gonna care? No. Are the toys gonna wind up at Ollie's? Absolutely.
That was beautiful.
This is like the best thing I've seen today. Yeah.
This is great. It's true too. And it'll be the power of many. There are gonna be many figures.
Many of these figures are gonna be dumped off.
Are they making figures of these toys?
Yes.
Oh gosh, why?
I don't know because the audience,
they're like losing money.
The audience they're catering to is not gonna buy the action figures. I'm sorry, they're not going to. They're gonna even the stuff that was well received. The action figures are at Ollie's. The Mandalorian and Ahsoka figures are at Ollie's. The retro ones, the Kenner ones. I would think that if anything was going to sell, it'd be that stuff, and it's not selling either.
And normally back in the day, I would have bought some of the figures that were there because it's such a good price and they're good figures. But I just don't give a shit about Star Wars enough, and then anything Disney Star Wars related to buy any.
Yeah,
I only buy like things I like, and honestly, except for like some Ewoks and some stuff, I don't buy a lot of Star Wars anyway. I still love the originals. I still love the books, but the whole thought of buying stuff and giving them my money, I just don't. It turns my stomach, and I don't do it. And that sounds like I'm exaggerating and being overly dramatic. No, I'm serious. Do I want to give them money for this? No, so I don't. I'll just go buy Calico Critters or My Little Ponies or something instead.
Yeah, I'm just out. I mean, at this point, I am so out from Star Wars. The only Star Wars anything I bought, we bought the vintage, well, it wasn't vintage. It was I guess it would be vintage now. Power of the Force 2 Walker.
We're old.
And I bought some of the old Power of the Force 2 figures.
Actually, my dad found them.
Yeah, we got them
My
carded.
dad found them at a garage sale.
They were at a garage sale.
He came and got us. The guys, you got to see them.
$5 each. That's what they cost back in the day. And I've got good memories of Star Wars in the 80s and 90s. I don't need new Star Wars. I'm not interested in Disney Star Wars. It's okay. I'm not even mad about it. Like I thought I was mad that they didn't get it, and I thought it was one of those things where you could kind of stupidly thinking that you could save it, right? It's the same with like Marvel, and it's Marvel Comics, and it's the same with Doctor Who and Dungeons and Dragons. These corporations have a boneheaded plan for these franchises, and what they're looking at is they're trying to change the audience because they want to use that brand, and that's all it is to them, is a brand, to sell crap to a different demographic, or they're looking to get rid of the older fans because they want to build up a new audience because they're like, oh, all you guys, you're all in your 40s and 50s, you're going to croak soon. The next like 30, 40 years, you're going to be dead, so we got to have some new blood in here. But
Star Wars is already dead, so
pretty much, yeah. I
would recommend, if you want a really good continuation of Star Wars, go read the Timothy Zahn books. If you haven't read them already, go read them. Heir to the Empire, Dark Force Rising, Last Command. Go read those ones because that's what Star Wars should have been. And even if they try to bury it and decanonize it and everything else, that's still what Star Wars should have been. And they're really, really good. So if you're like getting depressed about Star Wars, but you want something really, really good, go read those, because that was what back in the early 90s we got as a continuation, and it was actually decent.
People thought that they were going to film those, and that was going to be the next sequel. That was going to be the sequel trilogy.
Well, they would have been smart. That's what they would have done.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, we're going to wrap this up.
Yeah, let's wrap it up. There we go, guys. I just think this is beautiful. This is beautiful. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll talk later.
Bye.